So this is practice session number 2 from the second week, and my topic is the U.S. and Iran conflict slash tension. I guess you could say. Obviously, it all there's been conflict with a lot of countries, but I feel like this one is misunderstood, and that's one reason I wanted to pick this one. Because I found it very interesting, and obviously I don't know if y'all remember about a year ago when the U.S. killed one of Iran's general leaders in the military, Soleimani, which caused a lot of controversial stuff on the news and stuff about World War III. There was a big scare. Nothing ended up happening, but obviously, because of COVID too, we all ended up kind of forgetting, including myself, I guess I could say. We forgot about it, but this stuff is real life stuff that happens every day out there and it doesn't go away. So I wanted to talk about it. And the first thing is, well, there's been tension with Iran for the longest amount of time, from the CIA overthrowing Iran's democracy, or the CIA admitting to do it, to the Iran hostage crisis, to Reagan declaring Iran as a promoter of terrorism, to the Iran Contra affair, which we ended up helping Iran, and obviously the U.S. killing Soleimani a year ago. Now, I wanted to get into a brief description into some of these so we get a better understanding of how the tension built up and how it affects us to this day. So, obviously, in 2013, the CIA admitted or came out with documents admitting that they helped overthrow Iran's democracy because Iran was about to have a democratic leader for the first time in the longest time, as they've been ruled by dictators for the longest. Now, why did the U.S. not want Iran to have a democracy? Well, Iran, first of all, I'll get into this. Iran obviously wanted a democracy. Now, why did they want this? Well, they wanted change for first. And all the people, most of the people, I'll put it like that, wanted a change. So, democracy for the Iranians was perfect. Now, for the U.S., it wasn't such a good thing, at least economically, as Iran was planning on nationalizing all the oil and gas industry, which obviously the Middle East is a very key piece of land for this. So pretty much the U.S. used propaganda and bribery to make sure that this didn't happen. So pretty much when you think about it, we helped keep, or we promoted dictatorship. Well, according to the CIA. Now the Iran hostage crisis is something that we all learned, I believe, in high school about. Well, I did at least, and I never paid much attention into it this, until I had to research a bit, and it's actually quite interesting in my opinion. It was a bunch of Iranian students actually who stormed into the U.S. embassy in Iran and pretty much held U.S. citizens hostage for 444 days, which is insane. To me, that's crazy. Now, the U.S. had a leader. The Iran had a leader, the Shah. The Shah, they call the Shah, in Iran, a Shah is the leader. So the Shah uh, was in the U.S., obviously, with the doctors in the U.S. receiving cancer treatment as he was very sick. The Iranians were obviously pissed off as he pretty much fled the country because he was getting ready to serve trial against crimes against humanity. So the Iranians wanted the U.S. to extradite him back to Iran, which it didn't end up happening. He ended up dying in Morocco, and Obviously, Iranians held hostages for 444 days. They eventually let them go. But after this, the U.S. cut diplomatic ties with Iran. They cut them off. And obviously, later on, the U.S. did the Iran Contra affair, which they shipped a bunch of guns to Iran, but I won't get into much detail. So, pretty much, the tension has always been there. If I, if we can, if to put it easier, now how does this affect us right now? Well, it does affect us. Just I have a feeling that with all this stuff going on with the pandemic, there, let's be honest, the world is a crazy, crazy place. So every day there's new stuff popping up, but just because it goes away for a little bit, it's always there. And I believe this has always been there, and if anything, the tension could only grow higher. I believe, not lower. So yeah, I feel like there's always been tension, but we just forgot about it, including myself, like I said earlier, with COVID hitting. Now it affects the economy to, and in my opinion, this is my opinion, the world runs on economy. If there's no economy set, um, chaos would happen. In my opinion, I believe at least. So it affected the oil and gas industries, obviously, especially the U.S. the U.S. led oil and gas industries and the stock market with the oil and gas with Dow, and pretty much that's a big part of, especially right here where we live at, and in Texas, the oil and gas industries are pretty keen to society, at least right in this part of the country where we live at right now. So obviously, I chose this topic as I believe it's very important, and with COVID and all that, we forgot a little bit about it. That's why I chose it, and it helped me understand a little more and learn a little more about this. So I enjoyed this topic. So thank you.